Well, hi, so I'm here with Hannah, Tim and Harry from Middle Kids.
Hello.
Hello, Dom.
Hello. So, I believe it's your first time in Europe.
Yeah.
So how's the tour been so far?
It's been good.
It's been really cool.
Yeah, we're loving it. We're loving being able to see all these incredible cities, especially because, music has such a weight from Europe. So it's cool to go to some of these big cities where bands have come from, or there's just amazing scenes. So it's cool.
So what's been your favourite? What's been your favourite sort of part of the tour? Which city have you sort of looked back on and want to visit again?
Wow. I actually loved being in Germany. I loved a lot of the German cities and towns we went to, and the audiences there were really excited.
Did you go to Hamburg?
Yeah. That was a super fun show
Molotov?
to have.
Yeah. That was a fun day.
That was super fun. Yeah.
So obviously prior to this, you've sort of like played some shows with Block Party. I mean, how different is it to approach a tour, sort of like touring your own material as a headline act and then playing as a support band?
Well, I mean, it was a crazy experience because we're all big fans of Block Party.
Yeah.
So in some ways it was like more stressful because we wanted to do a really good job for them.
Yeah.
But then also there is, when you're supporting a tour of just kind of like, you kind of get out there and no one knows who we are. And that's kind of fun and like low pressure in some ways because we're just like, wee, like everyone's just like, who are you?
You can just pretend to be whoever you want.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like this kind of amazing mix of like seeing and being able to play at these incredible venues,
Yes,
pretty cool way to start off the tour actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it must be quite a good sort of place for you to be in right now, because obviously the album sort of like came out in May and it's had like loads and loads of good reviews all across the board. I mean, when you were sort of like playing to Block Party's fans, did you sort of like see quite a lot of people that were singing back your songs and kind of like knew?
There were a few fans in there, and actually what was cool was when we started playing our headline show a few weeks later, a bunch of people had come who'd seen us at the Block Party shows.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I think we maybe picked up a few people at those shows, which was nice. So it was fun.
Got to ask as well around the whole sort of like lost friends idea of sort of like connecting people via playlists, which I saw. I mean, that's an amazing concept. Where did that come from?
Actually, who birthed that concept?
I think it was someone in our team had heard about, or they just suggested it, and we thought it was cool because we like to think about community and music and how they can grow each other.
Yeah.
It's actually a really big part of what we like to do.
Yeah, and I think particularly like it feels definitely in the West, sometimes it feels like people are feeling more isolated and it's harder to find friends sometimes, and like it's quite individual, and I think that we're trying to figure out new ways that we can connect, which a lot of technology does a lot of that, and we have been so received so much goodness from the way that music's been able to like connect us to people, and I think that we just are trying to think of creative ways that we can kind of continue that. But I don't know, sharing music's pretty cool.
And also, I guess like music is it's probably one of the best ways to unify people, isn't it? You might have like differences sort of politically or come from like different backgrounds, but music's the one thing. It's the one common piece of ground, isn't it?
It's so true. Like I think sometimes I'm always so blown away when I look out in a crowd. Yeah. I'm like, whoa! Like there's just so many different kinds of people and in different places, and you just know that like it doesn't matter like who you are, that there's just such a belonging in music, like it's like it's palpable in the room,
So I believe that Elton John is quite a big fan of your music. He was one of the first people to play you on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the first people. He put us on a playlist or something, but we don't really know. Like, we never met him or anything, so we don't know exactly how that happened. But it was cool.
It was cool because it was early on. Like it was like very much like we'd put the song and it had gone onto radio a little bit, and we were this tiny nothing little band, and then like a few months in or something, Elton was like boing.
We were in New York and we had a bad day, and then someone told us it was on some playlist that he'd made.
And it was a good day.
That was nice.
But the thing is, I mean, so much has happened though in the 2 years for your band, hasn't it? I mean, you've sort of like you've obviously started off in Sydney, and now people are talking about you all around the world. I mean, wow.
It's crazy.
Chatter. Little kids chatter.
Keep the hype machine going. However that goes. Yeah.
So I've got to ask about the band dynamic, because obviously you two guys are married. So I mean, for you, Harry, I mean, like, you know, does that mean that obviously that you've got to make the decisions or call the shots? Or
Well, no, the whole
shots?
point of the band is to find me a soulmate. So that's
We're
kind of-
actually we're hoping to be a 4-piece.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on Harry.
we're taking resumes. No, I mean it's cool. You know, there've been plenty of bands with married couples in them. I just email those guys to ask them how to do it.
Help!
Yeah.
The new Fleetwood Mac then.
Yeah. Well, once he gets his partner, then we'll swap around.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've got to ask you about the actual set list, because I mean quite a few of the songs are sort of like quite old now. I mean, like, are there any sort of like new songs that are coming through, and is there sort of like a projected release date for a follow-up album?
Ooh.
Yes, we've got a couple new songs in
We
the
never
set.
have time to learn how to play them live. To
Yeah, I know.
Always,
But
always playing shows.
we have 6 new songs all fully recorded,
Ready.
Oh, right,
and
okay.
we hope to release them next year sometime. Maybe have some more songs and make an album. We're not sure. We're working it out. But yeah, new material.
So I was going to ask you about, so what are your plans for next year? I mean, I assume you'll be doing quite a lot of the festivals and coming back over here again.
Yes.
That's the plan.
The plan is to come back to Europe and UK in the summer.
Yeah.
So we've got some summer festivals and stuff back home in Sydney. We'll do, or Australia, and then new music, new shows.
Hannah's always pressuring our agent over here by emailing him saying, "Get us on those summer festivals."
So maybe this will help mentioning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully if your agent's watching,
Everyone email.
Yeah.
our
make sure
agent.
that you get them on the festival
Make
for
it
next
happen.
year.
We should give his email out. and then-
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to a new band just starting out? What would you tell a band to do? What would you tell a band not to do?
I mean, it's hard to know in many ways, but I think the main thing for us that has probably been the most helpful thing is that we've just really been committed to, working on our craft. And so I think that even before we started the band, we were all working on our own thing musically. And I just think that the most helpful thing for me personally, and I think for each of us, is that we just day in, day out, we're practicing, writing, trying, and I think that we have found that the music has really been the kind of dictator and what's pulled us forward.
Yeah.
And I think that there's probably so much better advice in terms of strategy that, I'm not even that aware of, I'm sure. But, I think that but even for your own experience, I think as a band and as a songwriter and as an artist, I think you got to remember that it's about the art.
Yes.
And I think it's very easy to get overwhelmed and stressed about these things we should be doing and social media and all these things. But I find that if we just are able to keep our eye on what's important to us and make that the main priority, I just feel like my experience is just way better, and then I'm that's why I'm doing this.
True.
Because music is the best.
So are there any new bands that you'd recommend for Drowning Sound and our readers to check out that we might not know about?
New bands. There's a band called Flasher who are on our. You know about Flasher?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Flasher.
Good band.
Yeah. Well, you already know about them.
Sorry.
So it doesn't matter. New music. Anything else?
There's an Australian band called Tiny Little Houses, who are a really cool band.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know them. They're from Melbourne. They're cool.
What kind of sound? What kind
It's kind of like a 90s sort of Pavement kind of Steve Malkmus sort of thing. So
sounds quite interesting.
they're a cool band.
Yeah, nice.
And I guess I've got to ask you about your choice of cover, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. So what made you choose that? And is it something that you might play in the live set, or as an encore or something if people shout for it?
Well, we were liking it as
So if
we
we
were
shout for it
playing
tomorrow in
it.
Nottingham?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were liking it, so we were like, oh, we should put this in the set. But I think Cyndi Lauper is incredibly inspiring. I
Yeah.
think from the outset, she was a woman who's just this is who I am, kind of deal with it. And a long time ago, I feel like she just set a wonderful example for me personally. And I think also just her songwriting is insane. So
She wrote great pop songs, but it was also very, very left field, wasn't it? It was very avant-garde.
Yes.
Everything, the way she presented herself.
yeah, totally. That's very exciting for us because I think a lot of our songs have tend to have a pop sensibility,
Yes.
But I think that there are other elements like the production or some of the structure, whatever, that we try and mesh kind of more alternative stuff too. So
Right, well, Middle Kids, thank you very, very much, and
Thank
enjoy the
you.
rest of your tour.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
All this time